Hello everyone, welcome back to Archviz Africa. It's Dixon here again with you from AAA Studio. We started this tutorial animation with D5 render, and we just brought this model from Revit. It was a very basic model that we brought from Revit into D5, and then we brought this object, this bicycle, this car, and this bike basically from 3D warehouse. Okay, so we just went to 3D warehouse and we just search cars or bikes, and basically just downloaded what we got and just put it there. Okay, so very simple process that we went through. If you missed that tutorial, just go to our YouTube channel and check animation part 1 of the 5 series, okay, and you'll be able to find out. But I also thought of showing you something, because the original video that was created, even though the basic model was done in Revit, the model was then taken to 3ds Max. So I took the model to 3ds Max, and because I wanted certain kind of furniture, I set it up there in 3ds Max. So if I go to like a camera, you can see how I set it up. So we are going to take some of these objects, like the flower pot, like the light fixtures here, maybe even the motorbike and the car, just to see how they look there. Okay, so what you do, I've already saved them, but what you do is that you can hide the objects that you don't need by clicking, right clicking, and say hide selection. So if I select, I can hide selection. Okay, just hide selection, hide selection, hide selection, and then basically with D5 render, you can just select this flower pot, and then you just go and say D5 converter, and then you just click export D5 render, and then you go to the path, choose a save path. You just click here and you give it a name. So you can see I've already saved them. So you can just save it, give it a name, flower pot, and just click save and click export, and then you export it. So the same way with the car, you can select the car and then just do the select the light as well and do that, as well as the bike, any object. So if you are someone who used to work in 3ds Max and other rendering engines, it actually it's not a problem, because you can easily export your files into D5 render. Okay, so I wanted to just show you that. Okay, so now let's just minimize that. Let's go back to our D5, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to go to the plus sign here whilst we are in the list panel, and then we go to the plus sign and we go look for our flower pot. So if I click on flower pot and I say open, my flower pot is there. If I click on it, there you go, I have my flower pot, and I am just going to position my flower pot here. I like the reflection of it in the mirror, in the glass, so that's why I just brought it a little bit close to kind of see that. Okay, great. Okay, then we can go again and we can say wall light, open wall light, and then we can see our wall light here. So let's just position our wall light maybe somewhere there. There is our wall light. We can bring it. And I like using the top view. So I like to go to my camera here and go to top view. And basically know exactly how it's positioned, because sometimes, you know, this is in the wall. So I know that if it's here, it's positioned correctly. Okay, great. Then let's go back to the import. And then this time around, let's say car and say open. It's loading. You can see it's loading. And it loads pretty fast, you know. So there's our car. So let's move this one a little bit back. So I'm going to go to the top view. Or you can press T to go to top view. So I'm just going to move this back. Okay, and then I'm going to move this one here, basically. Okay, so you can see there's also shortcuts for the views. So if I press the P, it takes me to perspective. If I press T, it takes me to top view. Okay, which is quite helpful. Okay, so we've brought our car in. Okay, and then what other object was there? The motorbike. Okay, so let's bring in the motorbike. Okay, there. So let's just maybe place it here. So now we've got two motorbikes. It doesn't really matter. It's just a learning process. Okay, so I'm going to just pick this material here, the concrete material. I'll copy it by clicking on the paint brush here, and then I'll apply it to this object here, and then I will go to the material picker, click on it, and then change the scale of the material. I think it was too much. Okay, so we can work on that. Okay, great. Then what we're going to do next is just to kind of see what can we add in terms of even the light. So if I can place a light in here, and again top view, go to top view by pressing T. Quite nice. And I can position the light correctly in there. Okay, so if I go there, you can see. And you can also either check or uncheck the light source. So you see here the light source is shown, but if I click on check and I say uncheck, it go off, or I can press L. So if I press L, it shows. If I press L again, it goes off. Okay, great. And what I also did is that I placed some trees around here. So I go to assets, model, just to create some kind of shadow effects in the scene. So I placed like a tree here. Again, remember this scene was just a quick kind of scene to tell a story of a place that I've been. So it wasn't necessary about, you know, modeling everything accurately. It was very kind of a speculative process. Okay, so I'm just going to move the tree a little bit back so that my scene is still visible. I can actually go to the top view. Okay, and then just kind of move the tree a little bit. Okay, so something like this. Okay, then I also positioned a tree at the back there. You can pick any tree that kind of works for you. And I'll share this file with you once we are done with the tutorials. I will share with you as well. Okay, so I really wanted to have this kind of shadows here. Okay, and then what I also did was that I placed a light inside the window here, inside this room. So if I go to this room, let's do this. Yeah, let's just go into this space and just position. Actually, let's use a spotlight. I think that would be quite nice. Just position it there. Okay, so you see it's positioned at the wrong window. So it's easy to actually go to top view, T to top view, so that I can move the light to my preferred position that I want. Okay, there we have it. So I wanted to have this kind of light coming in there. Okay, great. Then in terms of your materials, you can basically play with these materials. This metal is looking quite nice, so I can just copy that and just apply it to the bicycle material, or even to this motorbike that we have there. Okay, and then you can also go to assets, you can go to materials, you can go to plastic, you can go to rubber, and if you want, you can begin to add, like, because you know that part of the bicycle of a motorbike is a rubber. Then you begin to add all these detail materials to it. Okay. Then if you go to other, you can also have like basic car paint. So let's say on the bike, if you want to change that material, you could change the material. Okay, we could copy the rubber from there. Plastic, black rubber, apply it on the seating. Okay, then you can really go into detail to kind of change each of these materials as you see fit. Okay, so really explore this. So if you want like a mirror, you can apply your mirror to it. You can apply your mirrors. You can see when you apply the mirror, now the wall is reflecting through the mirrors, which is quite nice. Okay, so you can really go into detail. You can change this number plate, so you can see here, you can just click by picking the material picker, click on this, and then go to maps, and then base color, you can just change the map. So you can just change the map of and apply your number plate. So there, got my number plate, for example. Okay, and then because these flower, concrete flower kind of pots here were not close to the scene, I didn't really model it, just an extrusion. So basically what I'm going to do is just to go to model and go to flower, and then I'm going to just create one. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go on top, on the surface of one of them, and then I will just create something like this. This is quite big, but we can also reduce the size of it if this is what you want to position there. Okay, so you can reduce it, and then you can also add. So let's say I add different ones. I want to show you what I always do. So let's say I've got these flowers in a flower pot. Just trying to pick some reasonable flowers that will grow on, in a pot like that. So I will just select this. Let's just close that. So I'll select that one. I'll press Control, and then I'll select the others. So I'll select 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll group them. Okay, so now I know that it's group. If I move, actually it didn't select. So, okay, let me just make sure it's selected. So select, Control, select. Okay. Okay, edit, group. Okay, so you see, okay, one, this one was, I couldn't pick one of them. Control, select, edit, group. Okay, great. So now it's selected. So now if I click on it, I know it's one thing. So I can just go edit, duplicate, or Control D. Okay, and then I can just move it. I can just move it to the next pot. Okay, so I can just kind of arrange it the way I want to have it there. Okay, so you can see that when I was moving it with the arrows, it was moving in the axis that I was moving. It's just like when you're working in 3ds Max or any other software. I don't know why I'm not kind of used to the short keys at the moment, and I keep going to the menus and selecting, but they are all short keys. So if I do Control D, it has duplicate already. Okay, so make use of these shortcuts. So let's delete that. Okay, so you can see we can just copy, we can just do that, Control D, and just position these flowers on these fake flower bed flower pots that we've created there. Okay, great. It's not looking bad. Okay, so this light is quite nice. I think in the animation I had one of the lights. This light, I had one here. Okay, so let's do that. I'm gonna go to the top view, and then I am going to just Control D and take that light fixture and just position it here, and I am going to rotate it 90 degrees. It's 90, 180. Yeah, 180. So if I come here, it's actually sitting on the floor, so I have to lift it up. Okay, and then I can basically also place a light in. So again, I'll go to the top view and I'll make sure that my light is inside. Okay, so you see we're beginning to have the same feel of that animation that I created. Again, I mean, if you want to also be a little bit be detailed as well in terms of your materials, you can definitely go to wood and add some fine materials here. You could add fabric here. Okay, so today we will end our tutorials here, but before we go, I will just take you through quickly. I'll take you quickly through the animation or the video panel so that you can see, or you can have something to work with till we meet again in our next tutorials. I don't like that. Yeah, that's not looking bad. Okay, great. So let's jump straight to our render button. There, click on our render button and we click on video. Okay, so we have our video here. Okay, so I had already created some scenes here. Let me just delete them. Going to delete them. So basically what you do is that you just say click plus button to create a scene, and then you can give it a name. Okay, so you can say scene 1. Okay, so you have scene 1, and then I like to use the WASD when I'm in animation. So if I click on that, and then I just click to capture this scene, and then I use W to move forward to my next destination, and I just click the short button, and I've got an animation. Very, very, very simple. And you can also change the time. You see now it's 6 seconds. So if you make it 10 seconds, it means that the video will be longer and it will be slow. It takes a little bit of time. Okay, as well. So let's say I'm happy with this. I just go to click on the plus sign. I say scene. Click on the plus sign. Sorry, I think I've created 2. Yes, let's change this one and say scene 2. Okay, then let's say this scene 2, I want to be close here. Okay, and then I just click, and then this time around I'm going to use the D to move to the right. and then I click again. So now I've got this video like that, okay, which is quite nice, very simple. In our next tutorial, we will look at how to move a car, how to switch on a light in our animation, because if you have an object, if you click on the object, you can add keyframe, okay? So we will have a look at that as well. And let's create another scene. Let's go back to our shot that we're working on. And then this time around, we're going to come from, let's say, the trees. So we're going to come from maybe something like this. So we're just going to click, and then we're going to do that. Okay. So you've got something like this, which is also quite nice. Okay. As well. So next week we'll have a look at different things that you can do in the animation setting here. But one interesting thing that I want to show you is that, let's say you are happy with your animation, and you want to leave your computer to render, and you're asking yourself, can you just render? How do you render all these scenes, when you are not there? Because you are not there to just click render again. D5 has made it very simple. Okay, so let's see. If I click on scene 1, I can just say add to render queue. Then I go to scene 2, add to render queue. Okay. Then let's say here, let me also name this one scene 3. Okay, so I click on scene 3, add to render queue. Now, if I go here next to the 3D sign, you see render queue is here. And then basically all the scenes that I've created, remember when we started, I already created a couple of them. So you can just select which ones you want to render. So I can select these 3, and then just select which path where I want to save it. Select the folder, and then just click render. Go have some tea, some coffee, go have some fun, come back, and you have your 3 animations rendered for you. Okay, great. It was great sharing this with you. I hope you guys are enjoying these tutorials and you are practicing. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. And if you have any questions, don't forget to also leave it in the comment section, and I will definitely respond to you. And then, yeah, see you again next time. Bye.